Yo, what's up, mate? How's it going, Nate? How you been, buddy? Do 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 do.
I was getting
It is working. My streaming software is acting really buggy. I wanted to make sure that the stream was working. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hey, that's nice. When you think it's gonna be like a terrible day, I done that a couple times when I work night shift. You just think it's gonna be a terrible day because of that, and then it kind of works out. What's up, Michael? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Just give everybody a couple minutes to get in here. What's up, Dwayne? Sorry about yesterday. I had to spend some time with my kids. It's just been far too long since I really got to hang out with them. And then my son had baseball practice as well. So yeah, getting warmer. It's always nice. We got some interesting injury news. Um, Brad Bill, LaMelo Ball, two very big ones. Very big ones. Definitely gonna want to pay attention to that. How many viewers we got in here, guys? How many we got? My streaming software is acting funky. I don't know what's going on. Let me know when you're in here, guys. We will get started. Let me know when you guys are in here. We will start her up. Alright, let's get into it. I don't have a ton of time today, so I want to get on into it. Starting off with Luka. Never going to tell you not to play Luka. I mean, Luka is Luka. With that said, the way I'm building today, I'm just not going to get to a ton of him. He's pulling 6% ownership, so if you land on him, I'd be happy at 6% on Luka. It's just, there's not enough value to get to him today, in my opinion. LaMelo Ball, if LaMelo was playing, I would like him. He's currently questionable and was a midday downgrade. So for that reason, I personally think he's going to sit. I am going to build without LaMelo in my player pool. And if we get news that he is playing, then I will adjust accordingly when that happens. Kyrie Irving, I love Kyrie today. Unfortunately, the public does too. He's pulling 34% ownership, but love playing Kyrie. He plays huge minutes. Just coming off a 40-minute game where he dropped 60 fantasy points against the Lakers. Always happy to have Kyrie in my lineups, and I will be rocking a lot of him today. Damian Lillard, he is Chalk City today. My son just walks right behind me. Sorry about that, guys. Damian Lillard is Chalk City today, and I am going to be cutting that ownership in half. He's 31% owned. You see me adjusting it right now. I want about 15%. If I'm playing any Milwaukee players today, this may come as a surprise, but my target is Brook Lopez and Giannis. Dame would be the number 3 guy on the team for me. Don't mind if he falls into my lineups, but I don't want to be eating that 31% on him. Steph Curry, I really don't have any interest in today. He's only pulling 7% ownership, but I just hate the matchup against Orlando. Slate low 213 total. It's going to be a game I'm probably just going to be avoiding, honestly, altogether. Jamal Murray, I really like. Playing guards against the Bucks is a real thing. Guards seem to excel against them. Milwaukee ranks 21st in the NBA against point guards. Jamal Murray, last 2 games have been kind of a letdown, but he's played 36 and 33 minutes in both of those games. Over his last 5 games, he has 1.21 fantasy point per minute. Love Jamal Murray. I'm on Jamal today. He's pulling 19% ownership. I'm okay with that. CJ McCollum. I think he's getting a bit overlooked. I think CJ is getting a bit overlooked. I really like CJ as a high upside, low owned play. He's 7% owned. He's just dropped 49 and 52 fantasy points in the past 2 weeks. The matchup is amazing. You guys know I say it on here over and over. Play guards against the Suns. They're the worst in the league. Well, I guess since last night they bumped up. They're 29th against point guards and shooting guards. Last night they were dead last. But they're horrible against guards. Now, CJ has had a rough 3 games, his last 3 games. 30 minutes, 29 minutes, 35, 22, and 26 fantasy points. It's not what we're looking for, but I know CJ still has the upside in him, and I like him here as a get different piece. Podziemski, he's just too expensive in my opinion. I don't like the game environment. With that said, he should get the minutes. LineStar's projecting him for 30 minutes. I'm similar. And 3 out of his last 4 games, he's exceeded value. But last game against Charlotte, he only played 25 minutes and didn't really get you value with only 22 fantasy points. But it also, he only played 25 minutes because it was a massive blowout. So could just chalk that one up to being a blowout for sure. Jose Alvarado, I don't think Jose starts today, but I'm still going to be on him. I still like Jose as, yet again, a get different piece. Just a great matchup for him. He's only pulling 8% ownership. I don't think he starts today. Does LineStar? No. This is what I also think that the Pelicans run: McCollum, Hawkins, Murphy, Zion, Missy. But who knows? Jose could get the spot start, and if he does, he's going to pull more ownership. I still like Jose quite a bit. Not interested in Russell Westbrook. Cole Anthony looks like he's going to play. I still don't have much interest in him. I'm not there. Damian Ball. I like Damian Ball and KJ Simpson. I'm going to group these two together. If LaMelo misses, I like them both quite a bit. I do feel like LaMelo is going to miss this game, but I don't have any kind of insider knowledge or anything like that. That's just the way I'm leaning. KJ Simpson will probably start. That's what happened last time LaMelo missed. KJ started. KJ played great, but Ball come off the bench and still played 29 minutes. He dropped 24 fantasy points and he shot terribly. He shot 2 for 13, but he still got 5 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, and exceeded value. KJ Simpson, he started the last time, played 36 minutes, dropped 29 fantasy points. He shot pretty well, 7 for 18, grabbed some boards, assists, and a couple steals. So, like whichever one fits your lineup better, Ball $200 more. That's only if LaMelo misses. Tyus Jones, not really interested in. Kevin Porter, not interested in. Anthony Black, not interested in. DiVincenzo, he is interesting. If he plays tonight and starts, I will have my fair share of him. But he is 13% owned. I was hoping to get him. At lower ownership. Now he hasn't played since January 15th, but he got slotted into the starting lineup and he started going crazy. He started playing super well. So DiVincenzo, I like him today quite a bit if he is starting. No interest in Dinwiddie. Mike Conley, he's pulling 22% ownership, and I think that's just because we don't have a lot of value on this slate. I don't like a 22% owned Mike Conley. I really don't. Last time he met value was February 6th. I'm just not on the Mike Conley train today. I have some of him in my 150 maxes, but that's about it. Another guy that I think is going grossly over-owned, Dante Exum. He's pulling 20% ownership today. 20%. I'll say this. If Dante Exum starts, I love him. If he is not starting, I will not be playing him. And I also believe in this lineup that LineStar believes that they're going to start Irving, Christie Thompson, Washington, Edwards. That's what I believe they're going to run today. I'm not on Dante Exum. If he's starting, I'll have him. If he's not, I am fading that 20% ownership. Then no one else I'm interested in down through here. If Elfrid Payton's starting, you can run him, but I do not trust him. I will not be playing him even at 4,100 if he is starting. Moving over to 2 guard. I like Anthony Edwards today. Primetime matchup in LA against the Lakers. It is a tough matchup, but the reason I like Ant today is his ownership. Of your pay-up guys today, Anthony Edwards is about the lowest owned one you'll find at 10%. I think that might be a little high, too. Might be a little high. Don't mind a low on Ant today. Devin Booker, if Bradley Beal misses, I love Devin Booker today. And I do feel like Bradley Beal is going to miss as well. I've taken him out of my player pool. Now, if Brad Beal plays, he's going to be an amazing play. I'm going to be manually making some swaps to get him in my lineups. But if he misses, Booker is Great play. I'm happy to play him. The Pelicans rank 24th in the NBA against his position. He is slightly chalky at 28% owned, but over his last 5, 1.11 fantasy points per minute. He's projected for 37 minutes. Like D-Book a lot today. Austin Reeves, I'm not there at all. Christian Braun, I think he's playable, but as this team has gotten more healthy, his production is starting to fall off. So just playable, nothing else for me. Max Christie is Chalk City at 38% owned. I will have my fair share of him today, though. Love the matchup. Projected for 34 minutes. That's the way it's been for Christie. If he's starting, he's getting huge minutes. If he's coming off the bench, he's kind of playing mid-20s. So that is something to watch for. If Max is starting, I'm playing him. If he is not starting, I'm going to swap off to someone else. Klay Thompson, he's fine. I prefer to get to Christie, but Klay is absolutely fine as well. Moses Moody, I like Moses as a value play today. He's only pulling 8% ownership. Now, I hate the game environment, but he's been getting solid minutes lately. Don't mind Moses. Grayson Allen, I like Grayson Allen a lot. If Brad Bill misses, I will be above the field on him. Not interested in Null. Not interested in Porter. Anthony Black, Nick Smith, playable if LaMelo misses, but not the most exciting play. Not interested in Dinwiddie, Hill, Shannon. Talked about Exum. Jordan Hawkins. He looks fantastic today as long as he is starting. Line Star's projecting him for 25 minutes. I have something similar. I also think he starts today. So does Line Star. Just something to monitor. If Hawkins is starting, amazing value play. If he is not starting, we're going to pivot off somewhere else. Now, even if Hawkins isn't starting, he should get plenty of minutes, but I just prefer him starting. I don't know about that, Don. I think everybody's going to be on Giannis today. No interest in Gary Trent Jr. AJ Green definitely playable, but he is chalk, pulling 20% ownership. Projected for 28 minutes. He's been playing 37, 30, 33, 30 over his last 4. So he should get plenty of minutes today. He's just not that productive. 0.51 fantasy points over his last 5 games. You're just playing him because he's getting minutes. No interest in KCP, no interest in Seth Curry. Josh Green definitely playable at 3,900, especially if LaMelo misses. And no interest in the rest of these guys. Moving over to small forward. LeBron, he's absolutely in play for me. And it's because of his ownership. He's still 11% owned. I'm happy to play an 11% owned LeBron on any slate. Not a core play for me, but if you can afford him last guy in, and you're trying to decide, I think LeBron's a solid pick. KD, I love KD today. That's kind of a stand I'm going to be making today, is having KD or Booker in pretty much all of my lineups, all my single entries, one of the two guys. I do like KD a little bit more than I like Booker because of ownership. KD's only pulling 10% owned compared to Booker's 28%. Franz and Paulo, I always group these guys together. Pick your poison. I think they're both fine plays today, but absolutely not must-haves. Lowest total game of the slate, first game of the slate. You got some big names playing later in the evening. If you fall on Franz or Paulo, I think either one of them's fine, but I would not recommend forcing them into your lineup. Trey Murphy, pulling 14% ownership. I like Trey. Need to boost him a little. But kind of like Franz and Paulo, not someone I'm forcing into my lineups, but I'm happy to see him fall into my lineup when I hit Opto. Miles Bridges. I really think LaMelo misses, and if that's the case, I want to be on the Bridges train. Last game, talk about a dookie game. Played 26 minutes and shot 2 for 11, only had 14 fantasy points. Even with that terrible game, over his last 5 games, he's had 1.39 fantasy points per minute. Really like Miles Bridges for a bounce-back game tonight. Jimmy Butler, I'm just not there tonight. There's no doubt in my mind this team has gotten better with him on it, but with that being said, he hasn't really blown the top off of it yet. He's had a 51 fantasy point game, but outside of that, it's kind of hanging around value or right below value. One of my favorite plays on the entire slate, as long as he's playing, is PJ Washington. He is questionable right now. If PJ plays, he will be a core piece for me. Love PJ Washington today. I loved him 2 days ago. He was a core piece for us 2 days ago. And he didn't quite meet value. He got 32 fantasy points, but I was looking deeper into it. He shot 0 for 9. He had 0 points. He did not make a single bucket and still got 32 fantasy points. He got 10 boards, 4 blocks, a steal, 5 assists. He would have been a must-have if he could have just sank some of his shots. He still shot the ball 9 times, even though he missed literally everything. So I believe in PJ tonight. It seems like he's confident to keep shooting. Taking on a soft Charlotte team, really like some PJ Washington tonight. Michael Porter Jr., I think he's fine. I'm not going out of my way to get him, but he's still going to be in my player pool. He's a fine play. Jaden McDaniels, I love Jaden McDaniels today, but it also seems like the public does because he's pulling 43% ownership. I'm going to set myself to around 45-50% Jaden McDaniels, and I'm perfectly happy with it. He's playing just monster minutes. He's projected for 36 minutes. He's played 40-plus minutes in his past 3 games, and it really does feel like 40 fantasy points in this spot is the floor for him. I'm not saying it actually is. That's just how it feels to me. But I love Jaden today. Kyle Kuzma, I'm not on Kyle today, but with that being said, he's going to get minutes. There's no Bobby Portis there. He's going to get plenty of minutes. He's projected for 34 minutes right now. His past 3, well, pretty much since he's been with the Bucks. Every game he's been with the Bucks except for 1, he's played 34 or more minutes. So he's going to get huge minutes, and he's unowned at 7%. So if you want him as a get different play, he's absolutely viable. Rui Hachimura, guy's always in my player pool. Don't mind seeing him pop up in my lineup, but I'm not forcing him in there. Najee Marshall, only if Najee starts, which I highly doubt will I have any interest. I don't think he starts, so I'm probably not going to have any interest. Royce O'Neal, as long as Brad Beal is out in this game, I don't mind Royce. If Brad plays, I probably won't get any. And I'm not interested in anyone else through here. Power forward. I think power forward is the most intriguing spot on the slate. I really do. Starting off with Giannis. I like Giannis a lot today, but I'm not sure I'll be able to get much of him because of the way I'm building. I love PJ Washington. I love McDaniels, Naj Reid, KD, Kyrie, and I just can't fit those guys if I'm playing Giannis. Giannis, since 2020, against Nikola Jokic, has scored 25 or more points in every matchup. 36, 29, 31, 29, 27, 30, and 31 real points every game they played since 2020. He shows up against Joker. And you play Giannis, you kind of know what you're getting. 1.63 fantasy points per minute over his last 5, 1.64 over the season. And he's projected for 34 points. Like I said, you kind of know what you're getting when you play Giannis. I expect he's going to have a wonderful game tonight. I think he has the best chance to put up 80-plus fantasy points on the slate. So I will have a couple lineups where I try to purposely squeeze him in there. But it's, I'm playing 300-plus lineups. It's not going to be very many. I have no idea how you got a Luka Joker build on tonight's slate where there's no value, really. Zion, if he falls into your lineup, he's fine. I'm just not there. Just because his minutes are so capped, he's going to play 28 minutes every night. That's all he's going to play. And at his price, I want to see 55 plus from him. He has done that 3 times. We know it's in him. He's a dynamic player. but I just wish he got more minutes. Talked about most of these guys. One of my favorite plays on the slate's next up, though, Naj Reid. I love Naj Reid today. He's got center and power forward eligibility. The only downside I can say about Naj today is he's 34% owned, but the Lakers don't have anyone to body him up down low. They just don't. Naz has been playing out of his mind since filling in for Gobert. 1.26 fantasy points per minute. He's projected for 36 minutes. Past 2 games, he's played 40 or more minutes, and he is all over the boards. I didn't even realize either that he shot the ball 16 or more times in 5 straight games. Last game, he had 21 field goal attempts, and it was his worst game. Still gave you 38 fantasy points, so I wouldn't say he was terrible. He almost met value. He shot 7 for 21, grabbed 11 boards, 3 assists, which 11 boards for him, it just feels low because he just feels like one of those players that's all over the boards. But I will tell you guys right now, a ton of my lineups tonight will be Naj Reid, PJ Washington, Jaden McDaniels, Draymond Green. Those 4 guys, my favorite power forward / centers. Speaking of Draymond, he's next on the list. Taking on Orlando, 10% owned. I hate the matchup, I really do. But Draymond has been Mr. Consistent. I played him against Charlotte 2 days ago. He dropped 45 fantasy points in 23 minutes. This guy's just consistent. He hasn't scored below 31 fantasy points since February 5th. So I like Dre. Moving down the line here. Bobo. Oh, Bobo. As long as Bobo's starting, I like Bobo. If Bobo is coming off the bench, I will have none of him. Now, I expect Bobo to start tonight. What does Line Star think? They also believe he's going to start. If Bobo's starting, you can play Bobo. A guy that I just do not understand the pricing on. The public is completely ignoring for some reason. He's only 8% owned. Aaron Gordon. I love some Aaron Gordon tonight. He is back. He is back. Now, he looked like crap when he first returned from injury. But his last 3 games, 29, 35, 38 fantasy points. But more importantly, he's been playing 32, 35. And last game, 24 minutes. He had foul trouble. But he's playing 30-plus minutes a night. I love Aaron Gordon. For some reason, the public is not on him. I'm all over Gordon. I'm going to have a ton of him. What's up, OMG? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Talked about Rui. Talked about most of these guys. I don't have any interest in Goga. Karlo Matkovic, I think, is playable. He's 15% owned by the public. Should get a little extra run tonight with Olynyk out. I don't want to go overboard on Matkovic, but he is a good player as long as he gets the minutes. Is that NitRam? Is that FanDuel or DraftKings? Because I expect him to be much more owned on DraftKings. Let me look. He's still only 20 on Line Star on DraftKings. I thought that would be higher. I don't think he goes above 20% owned on FanDuel. I don't. Let's see. Who's next? DFS, just a 150 max play for me. No interest in Zeke Naji. No interest in Isaac. Kessler Edwards. Line Star thinks Kessler Edwards starts tonight. As long as Powell is out, I kind of expect the same thing. And if he's starting, I truly don't mind him. Truly don't mind him. Not going to go overboard on him, but I think you can get a low on Kessler Edwards tonight. He's projected for 2% owned right now. I'm not really sure where I stand. Depends when the lineup comes out and he's confirmed starting. I'm not saying he is. I think that's who they're going to start, but I'm not the know-all guy. And not interested in Tristan Da Silva. I was going to have a little bit of him if Cole Anthony sits out, but looks like he's going to play. At center, Joker. I don't mind Joker tonight. He's 5% owned, but these super expensive guys, Giannis, Joker, Luka, in order for me would be Giannis, Luka, and then Joker. So he's kind of the third guy out. I highly doubt in my single entries I get any of those three, but if you want to play Joker, he's never going to be taken out of my player pool. He has 80 fantasy point upside on any given night, and he's only 5% owned. Milwaukee ranks 27th against the center. Brook Lopez has been playing out of his mind lately, though, since Portis has been gone. So it's going to be a very fun game to watch. Very fun game to watch. Don't mind if you land on Joker by any means. Mark Williams. He still scares me. With that said, Nurkic was downgraded. Last I seen said questionable. Was he ever confirmed out? Holy crap, this is all for tomorrow. Trace, Cole. I seen it somewhere. There it is. Illness. He's still questionable. With that said, I told you guys I'm been nervous about playing Mark Williams at the beginning of the year. He's one of my favorite players to play. But now with a 3-man center rotation, I'm worried about his minutes. I told you guys that. And last game he played 25. That was more than I had him projected for. And he ate. He had 32 fantasy points, but that just still wasn't enough at his price. He's 7K now. Line Star's got him projected for 27 minutes, and I think that's very fair if Nurk sets. Diabate would be the backup center in that case. I think Mark Williams is playable today, but I'm going to be very cautious with how much of him I get to. Brook Lopez. One of my favorite centers on the slate today is Brook Lopez, and I never thought I would say those words in my life. He's only 10% owned right now. He's taking on Denver. They're kind of middle of the pack against centers. They rank 17th. Brook has been playing great. He really has lately since Portis has been out. Over his last 5 games, 1.14 fantasy points per minute. He's projected for 32 minutes tonight, and that's the big thing for me. Since Portis has been out, he's played 30-plus minutes pretty much every game. 46, 40, 29, and 38 fantasy points in those games. Happy to get to a low on Brook Lopez tonight. Missy, I think, is playable tonight. He's projecting decently. Suns ranked 13th against centers. You just kind of know what you're going to get with Missy. A Lennox out. I'm not sure he provides the upside to win you a tournament, though. And pretty much the same thing with Wendell Carter. Like, you kind of know what you're going to get. Don't think he gives you the upside you're looking for to win a tournament, though. Diabate should be playing backup center tonight. I don't mind him. Well, I do mind him. Never mind. I have no interest in Diabate. If he was cheaper, I wouldn't mind him as a punt play, but not at 5,100. No interest in Goga. I think Nick Richards is worth a punt. Save 1 or 2 lineups in a 150 max. Don't mind him going against Missy. They actually rank 29th against centers, so have trouble defending the interior. Jackson Hayes, if you need a cheap last guy in, he's worth a punt. Not really the way I would want to go, though, against Naj Reid. Minnesota ranking 1st against centers. And nobody else I'm really interested in. So that's FanDuel, guys. You got any FanDuel questions, let me know, and then we will swap it over to DK. I got about 28 more minutes left, and then I got to get out of here for my son's baseball practice. Yeah, Nick Richards is a foul machine. He had, he fouled out in 16 minutes last game. If he could not foul, he would be so dominant. But, man, his fouls are something else. All right, over on DraftKings. Anthony Edwards, totally different than on FanDuel. He's 9,100, which is cheap for him. But he's also chalk at 26%. So I like Anthony Edwards over on FanDuel because he's not pulling much ownership. Over on DK, it's the complete opposite. He's just too cheap over here, so I'm sure I will have a couple lineups with him. But I don't want to go overboard at that 26% ownership, if that makes sense. Just completely opposite of FanDuel, and it's funny. Sorry, I got a message here from DraftKings. Oh. Just trying to see what it said. It's like, your contest starts in an hour. Be aware. Jamal Murray, far too cheap in my opinion. Far too cheap. He's only pulling 6% ownership. I love Jamal Murray today on both sites, but especially on DK where he's just too cheap. Devin Booker, he looks solid. Don't mind him at all. Price seems a little low. He is pulling 22% ownership. As long as Bill sits, I'm all over Booker. Podziemski, just an okay play for me. Don't mind him. Russ Westbrook, at this price, he's just okay. Luka, he's fine. Dame, don't like this price on Dame. I don't. I would rather find other plays. Not interested in Austin Reeves. CJ McCollum, I like as a high upside, low on play. Kyrie, I still love him over here on DK. Happy to get to some Kyrie. Cole Anthony at his price, I'm not interested in him, but if you landed on him in some 20 or 150 maxes and a couple lineups, I totally understand why. That's fine. Not interested in Curry. Jose Alvarado, very intriguing to me at this price. I like some Jose Alvarado, and he's pulling no ownership, only 3% owned. DiVincenzo, it's risky playing him coming off injury, but he does have huge upside, so if you're feeling risky, don't mind that at all. AJ Green, he's super cheap at $3,600. I will probably land on him quite a bit because he is the value on the slate, and he's going to get solid minutes. He's projected for 28 minutes, but over his last 4 games, he's played 30-plus minutes. Nobody else I'm interested in on DK. At the 2 guard, Jordan Hawkins going to be a must for me, whether he starts or not. Of course, I like him a lot more if he starts, but even if he doesn't, he's going to get a lot of minutes today. I project 24 plus easily. I think FanDuel's at 25 right now. He's just too cheap at 3,800. Love Jordan Hawkins today. Yeah, Don, it's Jordan Hawkins. I'm going to probably have him in 100% of my lineups. Christian Braun, he's fine at this price. His production has fallen off, but the price isn't bad. Told you about Murray. Moses Moody's fine if you're searching for a value piece. I really like him for value. Grayson Allen, as long as Bill sits, I think he's fine. You're just hoping his shots falling. Klay Thompson, don't mind him. Max Christie, I really like some Max Christie at only 5,100. Happy to play him. Brad Beal, if he plays as a home run play, I do think he sets, though. Trey Murphy's fine. Not interested in Dante Exum unless he's starting. If Dante Exum's starting, he's fine. Nobody else I'm really interested in. If LaMelo sets, we're going to have to look at Ball and KJ Simpson, but we won't get that news before lock. Small forward, Michael Porter Jr. is fine. Don't mind him today. LeBron looks good at 9,900. Don't mind him. Zion at 8,700. More stomachable to play. I would probably look elsewhere if it were me. But if you're to your last guy in, you got $8,700. I think he's fine. Not interested in Butler. Royce O'Neal only if Bill misses. What's up, Prince? Rui's fine in my opinion. Jaden McDaniels, even at this price, I'm okay rocking some Jaden today. Power forward, KD, love him today. I'm going to have a lot of KD over on... I'm really going to have a lot of KD on both sides, but over on DK, I'm going to be very above the field. He's only at 5% owned right now. I think that's low. I think he comes in higher than that, but I still love KD today. Draymond Green, just a little too cheap for me. Will easily fit into a lot of my lineups today. Aaron Gordon, I'm going to be all over Aaron Gordon today. All over him. Going to have a ton of Aaron Gordon on DK. Just mispriced. That's all there is to it. PJ Washington, I love him today as well. Love some PJ Washington today. Giannis, I'm happy to pay 10-7 for Giannis today. Naj Reid, love him. Gonna have a lot of him. Kessler Edwards, as long as he's starting at center, is a fine value play, but you need to double check that he's starting. Matt Kovic is playable at 4K. Miles Bridges, if LaMelo misses, going to be an excellent play. Bobo, as long as he's starting, home run play right here. Love some Bobo. Moving it over to center. Joker looks really good. I just would prefer to go to Giannis today. Not only are you getting a price discount, you're getting an ownership discount. Over on DK Joker pulling 25% ownership compared to Giannis's 6. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Brook Lopez, only 5,600 home run play, in my opinion. Really like some Brook Lopez. He's going under owned. Only 4% owned. Sign me up. Sign me up. Missy is fine at this price, but his upside, not where I want it to be. Told you guys I love Nas. Kessler, if he's starting, is a fine value. Wendell Carter's okay. That's really all I like at center over on DK. So, I'll be here for about the next 15-20 minutes. Start building in the background, guys. You got any questions, hit me with them. That is what I'm here for. I'm a free resource. Just leave the tab open in the background. And if you have questions while you're building, hit me with them. That's what I'm here for. More news for tomorrow. A 2-value center or only one? Honestly, the way I'm going to be building it today, I'm probably going to have KD, Draymond, Giannis, Gordon, Washington, Naj Reid. I doubt I have very many just center eligible plays. Brook Lopez probably would be it for me on DK. So I'm running a lot of power forwards at my center today. I may have a 0 center build if you just look at true positioning. I might have KD and PJ Washington as my 2 centers today. My wife is cooking tacos and it smells so good. I don't think Bobo is risky at all. You're just gonna have to monitor if he's starting or not and have a pivot. So let's look at Bobo, right? Only power forward eligible, so we're gonna need a pivot. So what you could do is, well, you can't swap to Aaron Gordon. You're gonna need someone on the Pelicans, T-Wolves, or Lakers. Well, I know the T-Wolves and the Lakers are going to be expensive, so we could swap to, where is he? Yeah. So you could swap to Matt Kovic. I mean, you're leaving $900 on the table, but that's probably your best option. Or you could leave enough money to move up to Rui. It depends what site you're on, Shooty. He is absolutely chalk on DK. On FanDuel, he is not chalky at all. On FanDuel, he is 12% right now, and that's gone up a little bit. Yeah, he's chalky over on DK. Probably going to be one of the more owned plays on the slate. Um, right now, he's sitting fourth with 26% ownership. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. We try to do these shows every single day. And join our Discord. It's linked in the chat down below in the description. Got any questions after a lock? That's where you can find me. So it looks like right now the major stand I'm taking on the slate is I'm cutting Dame's ownership in half. I'm probably going to be above the field on guys like Hawkins. I'm so ready for the MLB season to start. Yeah, I don't mind that at all, Chudy. You're just going to want to make sure Bill is setting and LaMelo's setting to rock that. No, I don't think it's too contrarian. No. No, due to my new job's work schedule, I wasn't able to coach him this year. It sucks. I hate it, but gotta do what you gotta do, you know? What's tough is my son is playing baseball, my daughter's playing softball. They play in two different leagues because my son's league didn't have softball. The signups were already over. So their practices are at the exact same time at the exact same days. So it's so rough. There's no way on today's slate 8 that you found enough salary to play Giannis, Joker, and Luca. No way. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. Yeah, it's brutal, Judy. Then my new job, man, I work a rotational shift where every 2 days I work a different shift. It's wild. I actually got the opto up in the background right now, and I just locked in Luca, Giannis, and Joker just to see what kind of lineups that were spit out. I'm definitely not playing this. I was just curious. The best lineup you have to rock: Dante Exum, Josh Green, Jalen Clark, Prince, Isaac, and Edwards with them. No, thank you. No, thank you. For reference, the very best lineup the Opto spit out with those three players scored 266 points, and the very best it spit out with my core was 301. That's a 40-point difference. Giannis is gonna play. Just came across. Yeah, I need you to show me now. I'm curious. All right, I just published both cores. I added a little note in there that they are subject to change when we get to starting lineups. I don't think they're going to change, but just a heads up that they could. Knox, Shannon, Simpson. What's up, machine? Missed you, buddy. Missed you. Am I touching any players from the first game? I think players from the first game are playable. Guys such as Draymond's my favorite Warrior. Podzimski, Moody, if you just need the salary relief. And then on Orlando, Paulo and Franz be the only two I'm interested in, really. But I'm totally okay fading that first game. I don't think you have to play that first game by any means today. Oh, sorry. Going back to your question machine, I would have zero knocks today. Um, and Simpson, I'm only playing if Lamelo's out, obviously, and Shannon, I'm probably gonna have zero as well. Power, bro. That Porzingis news obliterated me because I had so much of him. Last night, the Denny killed me because I had so much of him. Oh my god, it was awful. Absolutely awful. It's super different because you have a tighter player pool. Uh, so naturally, the scoring is going to be lower. I would be more inclined to take a player I know is going to get me 4.5 times value, opposed to a big slate where I would be more inclined to roll the dice on a guy who's riskier but might get me 6 or 7 times value. Wendell Carter Love, I Wendell Carter is playable. I'll say that, Prince. I just don't think he has the upside to win you a tournament. No, I wouldn't be playing any Ryan Dunn at all. And Bill isn't officially out yet, guys. I'm playing for him to be out, but just a heads up that he could very well be ruled in too. So have a plan for that. And if he is in, I think he is a great play. Right now, my favorite son is KD, followed by Booker. But if Bill is ruled in, he is my uh, favorite play. Of course, Don. That's what I'm here for, buddy. I want all of you guys to ask all the questions you have. That is what I'm here for. Oh Lord, I just run my first build and I'm getting way too much Mark Williams and way too much Nick Richards. I like Kyrie a lot. Steph, eh. Boys, I just want to say, oh, we just got news. Giannis going to remain on a minutes limit. He played 32 minutes last game. What are you talking about? Will remain on a minutes limit. I'm still playing Giannis. He's still my favorite pay up of the slate. I just hope that pushes people off of him. But I love the NASCAR slate for this weekend, guys. If you are not in the DFS chat, it's $10 per month for our premium plays. We post a core in there every single day, whether there's a show or not. I promise you, this weekend's NASCAR, love it. It is a road course. Last year we dominated road courses. We're going to do it again this year. Oh God, that's weird. I hear myself talking on my wife's phone. I guess she's watching me. All right, guys. I do got to get out of here. I got to make it to my son's baseball practice. So if you have any questions, ask me right now before I leave. You're welcome to ask me in our Discord. It's linked in the chat, link down below in the description. I will answer to the best of my ability on my phone, obviously, in the Discord. And if you have any questions after the slate starts, you can ask me in there. And I see Zachary joined. I appreciate you, Zachary. Welcome in. Somebody's talking to you in the chat. Double up core plays? I do not play double ups at all, brother. I'm just a GPP guy, but I would say Draymond Green, Brooke Lopez, Naj Reid. If I were building a double up, all three of those guys would be in my double up lineup. Love them all. Love all of those guys. All right. Well, that said, I'm out of here, guys. Good luck. You got any questions? You know where to find me in the Discord. See ya.